All right. Now, I don't want them to gain another yard. You blitz all night! And if they cross the line of scrimmage, I'm gonna take every last one of you out. You make sure they remember forever the night they played the Titans.
All right, 3 people who are watching this, welcome to week 2, which is actually week 3 of the Tuck Rule podcast. Today, our sponsors are Monster Energy Drink and Simon I Associates. Thank you very much for sponsoring this very little-known podcast. I'm not really sure how we got you to do this, but thanks anyway. So, in week 1, in our betting segment, which again, I want to read you guys a quick disclosure here. I do not bet on NFL games, because my mother may watch this podcast someday. And I'm not going to swear either during the podcast, because my grandmother might watch. So, we gave you a winner in week 1. I told you the Jets, plus 13.5. They more than covered against the Patriots. They almost won that game. This week, I'm going to give you San Francisco, minus 3 at St. Louis. It's a Thursday night game. San Francisco coming off a couple tough games. I think they're going to bounce back, and I don't think St. Louis is very good. I'm not sure why San Francisco is only favored by 3 points, but I would take them. We went over week 1 that Pittsburgh sucks. Just wanted to reiterate that's still true. They're 0-3. One of the top or worst 3 teams in the league. Denver lost its left tackle last week. Doesn't matter because they have Peyton Manning, and he's a robot. He has 12 touchdowns and no interceptions. I think the man could play till he's 45 and still be phenomenal. My Super Bowl pick isn't looking great after 3 weeks with San Francisco. I do think they're going to bounce back, but a team in their own division is looking pretty good. Seattle Seahawks, home field advantages. Best in the NFL. They haven't lost in over a year there. On a side note, this is a shout out to Richard Sherman, who's a cornerback for Seattle. He's a douche. So we're going to move on to fantasy news from our fantasy league, which I also know you don't care about, but I'm going to tell you anyway. In a shocking move, Lay Vagina McTitties, that's the great name that Bill Gordon came up for his team, he was able to snagglefoos his way into a trade with Greg Ellis, whose team name is the Polkai Panthers. Pretty sure he just Googled that and made some, I don't know. But anyway, Greg, in a drunken rage, decided to post on Facebook that he wanted to trade away Tom Brady after 2 weeks, which is just stupid. So he did trade Tom Brady to Bill. Again, that's Lay Vagina McTitties for those of you who are keeping track. He was able to trade him away. The trade was Matt Schaub and Anquan Bolden for Tom Brady and Eric Decker. Yes, me, it's just ridiculous, but what are you gonna do? And in fantasy news from this week, Powdered Toast Man. This is a shout out to Charlie Bensavanga, who's starting a new job soon. He was able to defeat Colin last night, who's somewhere in Europe. Probably making poor decisions with a hooker. Yeah, on the last real play of the game, Darren McFadden scored the Powdered Toast Man a touchdown, and he beat Harry Cock, Colin, by a point. And I don't know, I was quite happy about that. Way to go. So we're going to go over some of the Week 3 action here really quickly. Shocking score from the Colts 49ers game. Did not think the Colts could go on the road and win there. Niners were favored by 10.5 points. The game wasn't close. It was a really shocking game. Almost as shocking as the Cleveland Browns, whose third-string quarterback Brian Hoyer came in the game, and they were able to beat the Minnesota Vikings. If I had bet on that game, I would have bet on the wrong side. So I'm glad I didn't. Yeah, Brian Hoyer, third-string quarterback, throws 3 touchdown passes, leads the Browns to victory. This is Callie. You may have met her last week. Monster also sponsors her, so sometimes she gets a bit excited. So yeah, this week an interesting game. We had Seattle and Jacksonville playing. Seattle favored by 20.5 points at Delaware Park. Given 20.5 points in an NFL game, I mean, come on. I have to cover that, right? No, not even close. Jacksonville may be the worst team in the NFL in the last 10 years. My favorite story of the week comes out of Baltimore, where Baltimore wide receiver / kick returner Jacoby Jones was on a party bus late Sunday evening, with some friends, as you do on party buses. And one of a female entertainer who was aboard the bus, who was named Sweet Pea, got a little excited and may or may not have hit Mr. Jones over the head with a champagne bottle. Now, I don't know if you guys know, but I've been out with Sweet Pea many times. She's a very lovely young lady, and that really doesn't sound like her. So I want to get the backstory on what Jacoby Jones did to cause her to do this, because, like I said, very nice young lady, has a promising career ahead of her, and I just want to say I'm sorry to Sweet Pea for all the poor publicity you've been getting. So that's all for this week. On next week's episode, we will review my picks for the playoffs. Go quarter poll, since we'll be a fourth of the way through the season. Go over that, see where we're at, what I have right, what I have wrong. So yeah, there'll be that. And then lastly, my winning moment of the day. So I went to the liquor store today. I have the day off tomorrow. And so I got a tall 6-pack of Coors Light. Now, open up, it says $7.75. I'm fully expecting to pay $7.75 there. Now, I go up, the gentleman rings it up, $6.99. So, saved myself 76 cents, and I said, well, old tiny Indian man, thank you very much. Right, Callie? Okay. She agrees. She doesn't say anything when she agrees, so that's what that means. Get off it, you monster!
Alright, cool.
Yeah, she licked it.
She licks all drinks now.
Damn.